Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to my live show, Mondays through Thursday. My name is Toyin, you met Siri, and I'm so happy to have you here. If this is your first time ever, thank you for being here. I'll be covering how to achieve your next level. This is interesting because I do serve as a coach. I teach entrepreneurship, international trade, and I serve as a life coach. I mix all of those things together. Okay, here's what's going on, right? Is that we are all talking about moving to the next level. Here's what I want to try to do. I want to give practical tips. So the show, I share business and life strategies for winning, right? I also have the leadership and success program called the Game Plan, 12 strategies for winning. So I'm bringing all of those things together and really in the community. So here's the deal. Do you want to go to the next level? What does the next level look like for you, right? What are your aspirations? Do you have a picture of what that next level is? Because this is what I would say. Okay, many times people, we may not realize the investments we have to make. So what investments have we made to achieve the success we've achieved today, right? First of all, take an inventory, a quick glimpse of how did you get here, right? And as they say, what got you here may not get you there, right? Because what I'm seeing is that most times, many people talk about the next level, but they may not be putting in the work that would actually help them get to the next level. Okay, so that's the first thing, is that talking about the next level without counting the cost and the risk factor required to get to the next level, are you really going to get there? It's like, I want to build a house, but are you counting the cost? Right? So that's what we want to dive into today, is this idea of how did we get here? What risks have you taken to be where you are today? What investment have you made in yourself to achieve the level of success you've achieved today? And the moment you decide that you actually want to achieve more success, and you actually want to attain, and you want to go to the next level, like we're all talking about, the realization is we need to start thinking in terms of what new investments will I need to make to disrupt myself? Is it to acquire new skills, to educate myself, to expose myself, to connect myself to new opportunities? Right? Because if we're not being strategic in our approach, are we really making the progress that we desire? So that's what I want to dive on today. And I do want to welcome, we have Miss Sidikat here on Clubhouse. We have those on LinkedIn, Clubhouse, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. Thank you so much for being here, and do follow as well. And let me know where you're joining from. Feel free to drop a question, your thoughts, and your share. This is really a community conversation, right? I don't just want it to be Toyin, just sharing what Toyin thinks. I really want to hear from you and also be able to support people that might have questions. Miss Sidikat, any reactions to what I just shared briefly now? Thank you.
Level. Wow.
Don't we all talk about next level, right? Miss Sidikat, everybody, we're all talking about the next level, aren't we?
Wow. Next level is like you. In fact, you've said it from the introduction. Next level. Everybody talk about the next level, but the reality is the sacrifice you need to make. The investment, like the investment, is even key because that is what some people don't pay attention to. And investment, the investment comes with its own sacrifice. And that is why when you're thinking next level, you have to make up your mind that yes, you really want to go this far.
Determination.
Else the person will, yes, the determination. And thank God we've been communicating for a while. And I'm glad even early this year I shared with you because it wasn't really easy for me to make certain decisions. But because I could see the picture clearly, the future I want, and the possibilities. Like if I do this, and do this, the possibilities. I mean, the success possibilities are very, very high. And I'm also seeing that okay, the future is going this way. What if I prepare myself and I'm there already? By the time the future gets there, like I'm ahead of the game, and people meet me there, then it's going to do me so much. So you see, that part is what some people cannot really face.
Mm.
Like
That's
starting this
interesting.
year,
Mm.
starting this year, most of my income went into preparing myself. In fact, some
Wow.
of the things that I had intention of sliding into your DM like last week, because the course you gave me, I've only watched two videos: the preparation to export, then the 3 hours masterclass. So I want to proceed, and I clicked on the link. I see that, oh, I couldn't access it. So I wanted to ask Dama, I want to go further, because I am this kind of person that prepare myself early in the year, especially in the area of the education I want to get. Because
Mm.
once we are moving to the second quarter, I may not be able to say, okay, this 100,000 will go into education. So I already had my budget and I was working on it. So I bought different courses. Yours was part of it. So I was like, oh, please, oh. So my elder brother came and he was talking about export. I said, you don't know most of these things. You need to connect with this woman. So when I was now trying to
Mm.
open the link to show him some of the things that you've taught me for him to be able to register, that was when I realized. And that is just it, knowing that, okay,
Mm.
I'm going this way. This is what I want. There is none of my class. I'm glad Miss Sadika is someone that attends my class. There's none of my class that have done anything export. But the
Mm.
thing is, I'm preparing, because by the time I start thinking about the export thing, I want people to know, yes, I know what I'm talking about.
Wow.
And that is just the next level, next level, next level. How much sacrifice, how much investment are we making so that by the time the next level, because sometimes next level knock before you ask. I mean,
Mm.
before you even get there. Something happened yesterday. When I started this journey, people like Sadika may not know. I started last year, but not on Clubhouse. And I was doing fantastic well. I started on Gist House, and I had the largest audience on that platform. But the festival, most of the things that we were supposed to do in December were cancelled. And
Mm.
just yesterday, I was called that they want us to come back and start the content creation again. Now,
Right.
within that December and this period, I don't know what just pushed me. I was just always upgrading my courses, prepare. Thank God you were part of those that were mentoring me. And the thing you told me that I acted on was what was making me dance last night.
Wow.
You said, package your I've forgotten the paper. It's always beside me, like, and let them feed themselves.
Mm.
Package package it in a bottle. I've forgotten how I wrote it down, but I know bottle and let them feed themselves.
Mm.
So what did I started doing? I now registered on Seller. Then I started packaging everything. I had just templates that I'm like, okay, when people buy the templates, I'll sit down, I'll start explaining.
Mm.
No, I didn't do that. Instead, I made notes. Yesterday, I started testing how to present the slides, record it, then I put it out there. Package, feed yourself. If you ask me, please, Madam Sidikat, how can I get my business plan before I do the main one? Please buy this, do this, or go to this link, get these free resources, good resources. Then I started.
Wow.
That's what I've been doing. In fact, people that know me on Clubhouse, we tell you that for a while now I've not been regular because I was packaging it in the
Mm.
bottle so that they can feed themselves. And I never knew that something like the call I got yesterday
Will
was
come
going
in.
to come up.
So
So
there's
now,
a lot,
yes.
Miss Sidika, there's a lot you've shared. Let me try to unpack it for those also watching. Okay, so bear with me or bear with us. One of the things I say, because you're really showcasing some of the things I've been sharing privately as well. Number one, when opportunity comes, it's too late to prepare. So when we talk about the next level, we have desires for the next level. We have desires to participate in certain opportunities. That's what next level is that you're participating, you're enjoying certain opportunities now because you prepared in the past, and you want more, you want to expand, you want more. But part of what I usually say is that when those opportunities arrive, if you've not prepared for it, if you don't have the skill, if you're not ready, it's very, very tough to participate. When opportunity comes, it's too late to prepare. So that's one thing. So you also shared in terms of the investments you've been making in yourself in preparing for your desired outcomes, right? You have a desire. So you're in Africa, I'm here in Chicago. Part of what we connected on was your desire to export, your desire to grow your community. So you have a community that you're also leading, that you also teach, right? So it's like I train the trainer, I train you, you train them. So I've been coaching, passing on, mentoring you, knowing that you are also passing it forward to your community. But here's the key: you could, you had a vision of the future, you had interest, you had desire, but what you're sharing here is you didn't just sit down, sit still, doing nothing. You pursued, right? You pursued acquiring knowledge for yourself. You pursued preparing for the future. You invested in yourself. You talked about creating a budget, and you even shared that most of your salary and your pay you've been investing it in educating yourself as well. In fact, yesterday, one of the things I talked about education. You weren't here yesterday, but I broke it down. I said the power of education is that education exposes us to new knowledge, right? It exposes us to new knowledge. And when we now are exposed to new knowledge that we did not have before, we can start putting it into practice. That helps us acquire the new skills. And when we acquire new skills, guess what? We can participate in new opportunities that maybe before now we may not be able to participate in, right? And when you participate in new opportunities, you're setting yourself up to be rewarded, right? And an example is if you invest in acquiring the education around accounting, okay? If you go to school for 4 years and you master the whole knowledge base around accounting, or say medical doctor, the medical knowledge, the anatomy of the human body, all of that, or neurosurgeon, the anatomy or whatever of the human mind, all of those things. Excuse me, you invested yourself, right, to acquire the knowledge. Another example, to be a pilot, you invested time, energy, resources to acquire. What that means is that people that did not invest the same thing cannot participate. If I didn't go to school and invest my time in acquiring the knowledge of medicine, can I call myself a doctor? Like my husband that is a PhD, if I didn't invest all those years of educating myself, of exposing myself to chemistry, organic chemistry, can I claim, can I show up in the world? Can I actually participate in the opportunities within that profession? The answer is no, right? So education exposes us to new dynamic knowledge because we only perform out of what we know. We perform out of what we've been exposed to. We perform out of the skills that we've acquired. We perform out of what we've been exposed. The sense of, we talked about sense of possibility. How possible is it for me to become a doctor? How possible is it for me to become a pilot? If you can see people doing it and they can show you the path they took to get there, if that's your next level, you have to invest in following that path. But unfortunately, most people don't want to follow the path, right? So if somebody comes and I say, this is what you need to do, you need to take this class, you need to enroll in this academy, you need to do this. Most of the time, what I'm finding is that people want to bypass, they want to skip the steps of progress. You want to become a doctor, you don't want to go to medical school. Good luck with that. You want to become a pilot, you don't want to go to the schools that pilots go to acquire the knowledge. Good luck flying that plane. That's what I'm finding, is that most of the time, this is what we call post-secondary school or postgraduate school, right? Is that we were only most people are only aware that once you have your BSc, Masters, PhD, then you are set for life. The reality is no. When I talk about the pyramid of success, wealth, influence, and power, you have to go to another school. Most of those things, the traditional Western education did not prepare most people to attain success in wealth creation, influence, and power. So political, right? You can have, just because you even have a BSc or MSc in political science, guys, Just because you have MBA, guys, doesn't mean you are set to get to the top of the house. This is another thing when we talk about next level, is that think about the investment and the risk factor, particularly for us, for example, immigrants, right? How did you get here? Doing, how did you get here? What investments did you make in yourself? And did the community, the collective community, brother, sister, family, believe in you to push you forward? And then you taking it on from there. Guys, and now we're here. But here's what I would say. The moment you actually say, I want more, right? I've achieved this level of success and I desire greater for myself and my family and the next generation. My point is, those things don't just happen. How do you achieve your next level? That's what we're talking about today. And I see Dr. Nimrod from LinkedIn say, wherever we are, we always think about the next level, maybe too fast. Well, this is what I say. So in my program, the game plan, I talk about desire a lot. If you have the desire and the commitment and the determination and the rigor and the focus, this is what I talk about success. Success is you desiring something and your ability to achieve what you desire. So I make it very, very simple, is that you set your goal and your ability to go after those goals. And even in the world of business, so for example, we talk about first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter goals. In business, there's no limit. This is the power of entrepreneurship versus employee mindset, is that the only limit to how far you can achieve is based on personal development, exposure, all of that. Is that the person that caps, the person that tends to cap the business or how far you can reach when you're an entrepreneur, an independent thinker. I call it independent thinker. Like nobody's telling you where to show up, what to do every day. You now have to lead yourself. You have to lead yourself to that place. But as an employee, you have boss, you have structures, you have policies, you have direction coming from left, right angle, and you just do what you're being told to do, largely. But by the time you start moving up to the higher level, then you set direction for the others below you. That's employee mindset. In the world of entrepreneurship, you will lead yourself, you will set your own goals, right? You will go out there and fish for all the resources you need, right? If you're going camping, you will gather the woods, you will hunt your own food. You are the limiting factor, the determinant, the key factor in how successful you get to. So for me, I don't set targets for anybody, right? When I'm coaching or one-on-one, or even when I'm teaching at the Business and Leadership Academy, my goal or my role is not to set your goal, right? My goal is not to set your desire. If you want to move fast, I say make sure your investments match your goals, right? So if you want to move fast, there's nothing stopping you. If you tell yourself by December or in the next 6 months, I want to be A, B, C, D, then get to work, get busy, right? Make sure everything you're doing every day is aligned to where you're telling me you want to get to. And it's the game plan. How do you get there? Being realistic, right? So the other thing I talk about, like when I say I talk about in my private practice, those who go through my programs, right, is that capacity is extremely subjective. It's individual. My capacity to achieve certain things is different for other people's capacity. That's what I also talk about my program, is that expand your capacity. If your hunger for greatness, if your hunger for more, if your hunger for next level is massive, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, they're telling us they're going to, right? Then your capacity to pull it off must match. You must have invested in yourself enough that you have the dexterity, the capacity, the skills, the network to pull it off. Unfortunately, most times it doesn't match. People will tell me I'm going to the moon. Oh, I want to build a skyscraper. But when they show up, I'm seeing them with shovel. And I go, like, you need a bulldozer. You need a bulldozer to pull off that dream. So my programs are to equip, empower, connect people. Because on one hand, if you tell me you want to go to the moon, if you don't put your resources behind it, if you don't dedicate yourself, if you don't show up, if you don't invest, if you don't study, if you don't apply all of these things, and you're telling me you want to get to the next level and your next level looks like ABCD, then who are you lying to? Right? If you tell me you're a lion, but what you're doing out there, it's like if I ask people, who are you? They tell me you're a cat. Meow. There's another program I host where we talk about alignment between your inner person and what you're speaking and your communication style and what you're putting into the world, and also understanding and investigating really the nature nurture culture, the effects it has on numbing your desire and eventually how you're showing up. That's what I realize is that on one hand, we will say we're this, which is the vision we have in the inside of us. I cannot see your dreams. I cannot see your hopes. I cannot see your ambition. But just as the Bible says, by their fruits, we can know them, by the moves you're making, by how you're showing up, your brand messaging, your service delivery, everything you're doing out there. I can externally, the world can assess you. And the world is assessing you. And the world is judging you based on your effectiveness in delivery of your message. Right? So I know Dr. Limot said next level. I say go to the moon if you want to, but please make sure that your moves match everything you're telling us you are working towards. Because when it doesn't match, we're not going to take you seriously. Period. We would not take you seriously. The whole world will not. Miss Feline, welcome back. May, Candice, Sadika, welcome. Oh, there was also a request to come up stage. I'm not sure who that was, but please come up stage. Miss Sidikat, any reaction in terms of making sure your moves, your investments, right? If you tell me you want to build a 130-story building, please don't bring a shovel to that game. You will be at it forever. I say bring a bulldozer. Expand your capacity. Make sure how you're moving aligns to everything you say you are, because that is what will determine if you actually arrive and get it. You decide that, right? And this came out of me after teaching business skills, business strategies at the Business and Leadership Academy, which I continue to do. I realized that I could teach 5 people the same tactics, but the implementation, the interpretation, implementation, dedication to pulling it off is very, very subjective. It's based on them, their personal development. It falls to the level of their capacity, right? So no matter what I'm teaching in terms of techniques, business tactics, branding, all of those things, if you've not worked on your communication style, it falls flat. If you've not improved on your networking, you can come into my network and my event and you may walk away with nothing. Why? It's not me. I will create opportunities. I will teach. I will expose. That's what I do. But I started realizing, particularly end of last year, I started realizing that no, there's so many things in the way of people achieving the next level. Education is one, exposure, connection, coaching, all of that. But personal development, your capacity, expanding your capacity to take on more pressure. It's like the foundation of a 1-story, 2-story building looks different from the foundation you have to put in place for somebody that is telling me you want to build a skyscraper. So if your next level is 1-story building, let's see the foundation. If your structure is aligned to 1-story building, please move forward. But if you tell me you want to change the world, you want to do ABC, you have big dreams, big desires, big aspirations, huge ambition, nothing wrong with it. My point is, make sure your investment, you're ready to invest your life into that, into achieving that, because that's what the most successful people do. Elon Musk, right? We can see their moves. We can see them. The whole world sees it. They are not playing. They are not playing. Didn't Elon Musk make attempts to go after Twitter? You can see his moves. His moves are massive. His moves will make other people shake, right? Right? That's what I mean is that. But it didn't start there. For him to be where he is right now, he didn't just start there. He's been making moves for years. So success is a mindset, right? And I say success is available, right? If you practice the principles. Okay. Anja says, happy to be here, listening closely. Blessings. Thank you. I really do appreciate that. There's still one more thing I want to share. Before Miss Sidika, just hold on a bit. I really want to quickly share this as well. I've shared it before. Actually, I remember maybe 3, 4 years ago on Father's Day, I was asked to preach, and that was something I talked about. I talked about next level. This was 3 or 4 years ago, right? So I've been at this thing, but mostly privately. Only people who I do real life with know this side of me. But now, guess what? I'm bringing it out here. Let's see, to bring on transformation for more people. I remember talking about achieving the next level. That was 4 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago. Anyway, that was before COVID. So at least 3 years ago. And one of the things I shared then is what I want to bring out today, because I think it's going to really help people. Is that oftentimes the next level for us requires us to start from the base of a new mountain. Let me use this picture, paint this picture. Let's say there's a mountain. You've achieved the top. You're a medical doctor, you're an accountant, you're being paid top dollar in your field. You've achieved a certain level of success, no doubt. If you're listening to me now, you are successful, right, at the level which you ran after and you pursued. You've laid hold of a certain level of success. If you're listening to me now, what we're talking about is the next level of success, the next success you want to go after. So imagine if you're a mountain climber. You strived, you worked hard, you sold your things, you invested, you flew, you traveled, and then you got to the top. You know the view, the feeling of being at the top, of achieving what you said you wanted to achieve. You got the PhD, you built the business, you got the job, you got the promotion, you are the VP of ABCD. Good job. You've gotten to the top of a particular mountain. The next level now may be another bigger mountain. See, small mountain, big mountain. For those watching me, there's another mountain, right? You're here, but there's another peak that you may not attain. You haven't attained it yet. It's the next level. But this is what we struggle with. Oftentimes, getting to this mountain requires you to come down from this smaller mountain, move over, start from the bottom, the base, to climb again. That's what I have experienced. That's what I have seen. I've seen, for example, one of my mentors go from being the CEO of a $40 billion business. Peak. Many people in their lifetime may never get there. Spending 36 years in the industry. That is massive achievement, success, independently wealthy, millionaire, all of that. I've seen the story play out in many of my mentors for running a $40 billion company. And then he retired. And instead of sitting down and doing nothing, he had another goal in mind. But guess what? That new goal, that new level requires you to step down. And this is what gets uncomfortable for people, is that when you're used to the top of a mountain of achievement, you forget how to be a student again. You forget how to learn, how to enroll, because the new mountain, you don't have the knowledge for this new pursuit of yours. You have to calm down. And in one of those days, I remember, reaching out to him and wanting to set up a one-on-one with him. And I sent an email and said, "Oh, please let me know who I need to work with to get on your calendar. Like, CEO, there's always an entourage, assistant, right?" And he was like, "Toyin, no, right now it's only me. Now it's only me, right? I don't have that cloud of hundreds of thousands of people at my beck and call. Right now it's only me. So we're going to meet, but you send me the planner and then I'll accept it." That moment was interesting to me, because if you're not humble within you, you cannot get to the next level. Because between now and the next level, you will have to humble yourself to become a student of of attaining and studying what you need to get to that next mountain. And many times it feels very uncomfortable. It feels very uncomfortable to let go of previous achievements and move into a new space and build a new career for yourself and start a new business for yourself. Because at the end of the day, when we're starting something new that we've never done before, the first couple of years we're a student, we're learning. You become a student before you become a master. But most of us want to become master, PhD. How can you become PhD in anything without becoming a student first? Before learning from those who have gone ahead of you, learning from others, investing in acquiring but yet we want to be a master. It feels good to be a master. It feels really amazing to be on top of our game. But my point is, your next level, this is something to watch out for, right? Is that it's at the beginning of pursuing your next level, it feels very uncomfortable. I've been there. That's why I'm sharing this. I'm putting this out there. There's nothing wrong with you. It's just that. And you'll be like, one of the things I hear is like, but I mean, I used to be, I used to be. It's okay. You can be a medical doctor, a successful one. You can be a surgeon, a successful one. The moment you say you want to be an entrepreneur, better go and enroll in my school. You have to learn marketing, branding, sales, persuasion. Because if you're a medical doctor, your degree, you just say, I'm a medical doctor, and everybody will be like, yes, sir. Everybody's at your beck and call because you are the master. But entrepreneurship, no, 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 no. You will tell people why they should pay attention to you. You will do that every single day. But that's another story. That's not the topic of today. But that's the point I'm raising, is that the next level feels very uncomfortable because you're going from one level of success to a higher, bigger level of success. And oftentimes you have to start from the bottom of a new mountain. You have to come up, come down, humble yourself, come down, right? Right? Another thing I say is, if there's a gift waiting for you in California, I'm here in Chicago, right? I can be dreaming about that opportunity in California. I can be dreaming and aspiring and wanting it. But until I make the move and take and decide to go on that journey towards California to go and pick up my gift, do you get it? No. So the next level sometimes could also be geographic. Many people don't want to move. But again, think about all of the investments you've made to get yourself here. How did you get here? What investments did you make? What school did you go to? Right? The community that rallied around you, that supported you to get here. The key is that most times, if you don't disrupt here, can you really get there? If you don't invest now, can you really get there? And in fact, here's what I also say finally, and then I'll open it up to more discussion. Okay? The people that refused to make the investments you've made in yourself, that you all started that journey together 10, 20 years ago, I'm sure you can still pick up the phone and they're still where you were. Those who refused to invest and do the things you had to do to advance yourself, to push yourself, to get yourself to where you are today, your next level. Those who refuse to make that level of investment, they are still where you were. I'm sure you can pick the phone, say hello to them, call them. My point is, only those who decide to also disrupt themselves and make new investments to usher themselves into the next level will get there. And those who do not, is the same thing. Life is very fair. You will sustain where you are, and nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with spending the next 30 years in the same company, right? And retire there. Nothing. The only thing is, the people who need what I'm saying are the people who within themselves, the vision that you're seeing about your future looks nothing like your present. If the future you're seeing in your mind looks nothing like your present, this is for you. But if your future, what you're seeing is the same thing, the same company moving up, getting, then that's okay. Just keep doing what you're doing, right? Keep it up, and you'll be rewarded on that path. If you've already chosen that path, fine. My point is, if you're on the wrong path and you know you need to disrupt yourself because there's a new path, there's a new mountain, there's a next level that you see. My point today is, you invested 20 years ago, the decisions you made 20 years ago, the journey you started 20 years ago got you here. The decisions you're going to make today, the investments you're going to make today will set you up for where you're going to be, right? And this future is even arriving sooner than before. So let me open this up for discussion. Kobola guy says, this journey is humbling indeed, but it is also rewarding. Thank you. Thank you. I agree. I have been on my own. I've disrupted. The reason I can speak this and share it and teach other people and coach other people and give you the roadmap to business growth and success is because I have my own scars. Oh my God. That's another day. That's a story for another day. So the reason I'm appealing and talking and sharing and encouraging people and cheering you on is because I know it's not easy, but you're going to get there. Don't give up, guys. Don't give up. Don't give up on your dreams. Don't give up on your hopes. I want it to be practical, right? I am trying to make this as practical as possible. That's why even I open like on Fridays. So I don't know why I'm sharing this, but on Fridays, I usually open my calendar to do one-on-one, right? Friday. That's why my daily live show is Mondays through Thursdays. And then on Friday, like if you go to toyinumesiri.com, I know many people need people to talk to. Like at a minimum, that's one thing I create space for, is because new approach, new insights, new thoughts will, when you're exposed to new potential possibility to inspire you and motivate you to keep going, right? So on Fridays, in fact, you can request a meet and greet, a free meet and greet at toyinumesiri.com. Tomorrow is already packed, so don't even think about tomorrow. Usually people set it up ahead. Fridays is what I open up, and then my live show is Monday through Thursday, and then on Fridays, like you won't see me, you won't find me on Fridays because I'm super busy in just paying attention and helping people one-on-one as well. Fridays, so that's one of the tricks I do to manage my time as well. I'm very, very, very fierce in how I coordinate my calendar and all of those things, which maybe that's another topic, time management, all of that. But in the game plan 12 strategies for winning, there's a lot of resources for that as well. Michael says, it's such rich sharing that I have found here. Thank you, and may you be blessed. Thank you so much. In fact, I put a post out there on social today. I said, you know what, the next couple of weeks, I'm doing more of this long form. You know why? While most of us like, clips, 30-second clips, 20-second clips, quotable quotes, this is what I have seen. And please correct me if I'm wrong, okay? Is that how many of the 20, 30-second clips or quotes you continue to consume, right? That you continue to skim through on social media, those things do not bring about transformation. No lasting transformation. At least that's what I found. Is that 24 hours later, do you even remember that quote? Do you remember the clip? How deep and life transforming are they? And I put a lot of those out there as well. Quotes, use social media, don't let social media use you. Passion sells, desire buys. I'm big on quotable quotes. But what I'm finding is that people don't still, the depth behind those phrases has to be unlocked. And to unlock them, it takes an hour investment from me and for you. You have to invest time in digging deeper, in reading a book, right? And social media is conditioning everybody today to skim on their life, to scroll on their life, to skip to the next video on their life. The next skip may be the knowledge that you need to sit with for 5 hours. You need to simmer. You need to soak yourself. For you to get to that next level, it's not, schemes, breadcrumbs that you're eating on social media. That's what I found. And that's why I've created a space that I will invest this time. And those who decide to invest their own time as well, you will walk away transformed, right? Because I will bring in packed knowledge. That's my intention, and that's what I show. I will show up with goodies of knowledge, like a buffet of knowledge. But to eat a buffet is not appetizer. Appetizer, a little here, a little there, I'm fine. You are not hungry. If appetizer is all you're getting, also, you are not hungry enough. Those who want to go to the next level, okay, the hunger you have must lead you to enroll in programs, in classes. Like, go and hide yourself somewhere and go to school. You have to simmer. You have to cook yourself. You have to expose yourself. You have to go deeper. The best things in life are not skimmed. Gold is not on the surface. Diamond is not on the surface. Those who want those precious metal, they go deep. They travel far. They go deep, and they will dig. Oil, dig. Diamond, dig. Mining, digging. Why? The most precious things in life, you will invest your time, your energy. You will sit still. You will digest this information. You will take notes. You will train yourself, because guess what? You need to change behavior to change the patterns you're creating. Because if you don't change the mindset that created your current reality, has to be disrupted. Otherwise, that same mindset will show up and will bring you back down. I'm telling you. I am telling you. You have to disrupt who you are today to become who you need to be to participate in your next level. Many people tell me, "Oh, Toyin, ambassador, I want to connect me with the ambassador." I'm like, does the ambassador want to connect with this you as you are? What are you bringing to the table? Value creation for you to increase your value. Okay, I'm going really intense there. Let me back out. Many people are not used to this version of Toyin, so let me stay calm. Okay, I'm going to shut that version out. That side of Toyin is super fierce. And I just went there a little bit. So I'm in control. I'm in control of what I put out there. I'm in control. So I will control myself. I'll pull myself back. I'll take a deep breath. It's not that serious. Let's calm down. Okay. I'm coming myself. Okay. I just saw myself eat up now. I'm like sweaty. I'm like, because that's Toyin. The things, the result. Kamala guy says, I love this fierce Toyin. Okay, I'm so okay. Let me quickly go on. You're making me laugh. Okay. Oh, Miss City Cat, you've been so patient. Feline, Miss Chrissy, please come to the stage. Let's open it for discussion now. Toyin is done. Let's hear your thoughts, please. Thank you. Go on.
Wow. Wow. In fact, the fear story touched a lot,
Oh.
and I'm really happy. You see, wow, oh, let me just share a very short story. Don't worry, I won't get to that point that I want to talk so passionately and long. In 2016, there was this man that I met. He helps fashion entrepreneurs travel abroad for exhibitions in Amsterdam, Milan, Italy, like that. So he came to our group to address us, and we were all talking, Then he called me after like 2 days later. He said he would like to see me. So in me, I was like, oh, fantastic. That means I'm going to be part of those that will go showcase in Amsterdam. I was already preparing, okay, where will I get funds and everything. So the day came, he came to me. Then in fact, I brought out the best things that I've made that will make him know, wow, this is very good to showcase outside Nigeria. Then when he came, he didn't even look at anything. Like he didn't pick any of the things that I prepared. He said, I realized I shouldn't tell you this over the phone. What you are doing is not your call.
Wow.
You have what it takes to help your industry. And that is the only reason I drove down to Aja to tell you that you need to get off the sewing machine so that you can fulfill that which you feel. I can feel your energy.
Wow.
And like you said, that if the future you see is not what you're doing, then you have to get off. Yes, that period, the future I saw was that I was helping a lot of fashion interpreters. In fact, I was doing it already within that small group. I was doing it. Everybody is coming, see the card, see the card, see the card. But I did not realize there is something that will get me where I want to get to. In fact, during my scholarship at EDC in 2019, I wrote this as side hustle, like just there, just something I don't want to do, just there. I just wrote it. But then I realized that it's like what I was told in 2016 actually makes sense.
It makes wow.
Why you see what?
But let me ask you a question. Okay, let me ask you a question, right? Because what you're saying is you got to a particular stage and somebody gave you feedback that you sat with, it resonated, and this feedback is you're doing something right now, but the future you're seeing for yourself is different from what you're doing. But the question I have, what if, just imagine, what if you never shifted? What would you be doing right now? Where would you be?
I actually did not shift because I was making a lot of money.
Wow. The TP.
It's not easy now.
So that
anything I need, I can always get it. And I know these parts of me, if I should go to this one, that means I'm going
so
to.
You didn't
like
shift.
You said, you need to calm down a bit before you rise up again. So it was not really easy for me to think of myself doing that because there are two different journeys in the same direction.
So what did you do? I want people to learn. I want people to learn from what you're saying. How did you now go from that to where you are today and the journey you're on and the journey you're still going on? How has it been? Because I don't want this to be just in theory, because there are people right now that I believe are in that place where they have to make decisions. They can decide to stay or they can decide to pursue the future. What would be your advice or recommendation based on your own experience? What would you say to them? Thank you.
Yes, my advice is that sometimes we need to take a break to look at what we are doing, like take stock, take account. You have to be accountable to yourself. To see that, okay, what you're doing, because sometimes your vision is not about you, it's external. Not all visions are internal. So I realized my vision was external. Then when I see, I started feeling guilty when I meet fashion entrepreneurs that are going through challenges that I could solve, like without even stressing myself. Then I increased. Then I started following people. Yes, that is why the people you connect with also matter. I started following people that I know will motivate me, like inspire me to do that thing that I want to do. So it's like when like, okay, I'm a social entrepreneur now. If as a social entrepreneur, if you move too much closer to people who are about just the profits, not the social impact, you may not think about your social impact. But when you start moving closer to social entrepreneurs, you know much more about, okay, even if you're going to earn profit, you should be solving this particular problem. So I started doing things like that. I deliberately started connecting to people that are doing the things that I want to do. So when I started seeing their level of success, that, okay, if I do this, I can still be successful like I want to be. So I started putting out the test. Then COVID-19, like I used to tell people, was a blessing in disguise for me.
Wow.
Yes, it was a blessing in disguise for me because already in January, the doctors wanted me to take a break because I was pregnant. It
Oh
was
my.
challenging. So I was still looking for how to tell my customers that, okay, we won't be available. Then the COVID break came. So during that period, I started not like I even took external courses. Yes, I was on some scholarships then because I pushed for scholarships also. So I was on like 2 scholarships at that period. And also I went back into my shelf. Then I started looking back at the things I've written in the past year that I know will do something. So that break helped me to start thinking. Then by the time the break was over, I was reluctant to do what I used to do that I thought I couldn't do before. I started preparing myself. And now what I'm seeing for myself is I will even be able to do the two together.
Wow. Yes, because
I'll be traveling.
you've
Yeah,
expanded.
I'll be traveling in 2 weeks. My team for Fashion Powers are in Ibadan, the technical team, everything.
Wow.
So I'm going to meet them. We sit down, we have meeting. So I just realized that this is something you can just build. Give yourself a break for like 1 year. Build it well structured, and you can run with your fashion. And now I'm even thinking, okay, my ready to wear is going to fly also, which is something I thought I wouldn't be able
Wow.
to do.
So you never.
So
So wow. So the journey really was about capacity building. It was about expanding your reach, your capacity. So you never really lost. At the end of the day, what you're telling me is you gained, you did not lose. So sometimes the things we thought we were going to lose, we never, if you've achieved it, it's about expansion and going to the next level. So the next level is about learning new skills, right? And when you learn new skills, you can participate in new opportunities, and it still doesn't stop you in also still participating in the old opportunities if you desire, because you're a master. You're a master in one area. This journey is about learning, becoming a student, and then attaining mastery in new things. And now you have two. You can now come to the world with two things. It's like Elon Musk. Just because he's built Tesla, he's telling us, okay, I did battery, I did Tesla, now I'm doing more and more, right? The power of success, the moment you achieve success in a certain level and you start practicing its principle, you don't shrink back. That is what is so tricky, is that you're not shrinking back, you're actually going forward into more. It's like Jeff Bezos. Okay, Amazon.com. Okay, Amazon Cloud Services. Okay, now Amazon Prime. Okay, Amazon this, Amazon. Why? An entrepreneurship mindset. When you master one area, and that's why when I teach and coach, I teach the principles of entrepreneurship. Why? You will build multiple businesses with that. Why? When you master and apply that principle into one business stream, most of the people I coach, they will do it once, they will do it again, they will do it again. That's why even for me, I've talked about this before, niching and all of those things. I am teaching people how to build multi-dimensional businesses, because at the end of the day, if you have capacity, if you have the capacity, why are you limiting yourself into one slice of the pie? I will go into the personal development, space. I will develop a program there. I will go into another industry. If I have the capacity, it's always based on the capacity and the skills you have. Because if you don't have the capacity, don't make promises you cannot fulfill, which is another thing. Okay. So there was also something you talked about briefly, but I want people to take note of that. I don't want us to skip it. You talked about internal versus external pursuits, because there's a certain level of success that the society will impose on you. Oh, by this time you should be here. By that time you should be there. Is that what you went to school for? Okay. External pressures. You should have a house, you should have this, you should have that. Many times people are living their life to live up to the expectations of other people. Watch out for that, right? Because it causes comparison. And it is one of the reasons that we don't disrupt where we are. It's like, what will people say? What will my community say? What will this say? What will that say? Right? versus what you were saying, Miss Sidika, the internal aspiration, desire in your DNA, in your heart that nobody can see, that is actually supposed to lead you to destiny. That may require you to go and re-enroll in school and say you're a student. Maybe you used to be a banker. You were living large. You were living the external aspiration. You had the driver, the everything. You were living the dream. Okay? I was working for the world's Fortune 1, living the dream, the American dream. Right? Where do you go after working for Fortune 1? Okay? Yes, external. Yes, all things rosy, rosy. But inside of yourself, your soul will call you out. You are denying your purpose. The purpose God sent you here to do. You are not paying attention to it. You're not investing in the purpose that God gave you. The skills, the unique skills and talents that God gave you to fulfill certain things in the world. It's only you and your creator. That conversation is between you and God. We cannot see it. I cannot see it. But you know. And oftentimes, that dream could be in conflict with other people's expectation. For you, they sent you to become a doctor. Now you're a fashion designer. They sent you to become a doctor. Now you are doing something else. It's the external will tell you there's a conflict. We expect you to be sit in the bank, live. That's the dream they had for you. But the key is, what dream do you have for yourself? That's what I'll leave everybody with today. What dream do you have for yourself? And are you going to commit to helping yourself fulfill the dreams of yourself? Are you committed to that next level? Not the external kind, the internal dreams that you have and aspirations. So if you go through the game plan 12 strategies for winning, that's where it lands. Listen to your heart. Fan your desires. Whatever is numbing your desire, nature, nurture, culture. See it, delete those viruses in your computer. They are in the way of pursuing. Whatever those things are, the stories you believed about yourself, about what's possible and not possible for people that look like you and I. Delete the viruses. Commit to going on your journey. That's really what it is today. And on that note, I'm going to be wrapping up. And we usually have a mini after show on Clubhouse. So I'll close the stream. But if you need to talk to somebody from a life coaching, business coaching standpoint, you can go to toyinyumesiri.com, www.toyinyumesiri.com. There's a button there where you can request a 20 minutes free meet and greet. Email your questions. That's what I have my Fridays for. It's booked out. You have to book it out. So pick your slots as quickly as you can. I only have Fridays and my time is limited. And for business and leadership coaching and courses, I have over 20 courses and growing, because I'm teaching every single day at the Business and Leadership Academy. It's bundled as a program. You know why it's bundled as a program? One course may take you one step. For me, it's an entire journey. To scale, automate a business is an entire journey. And you at the website nazaru.academy, you can see the business growth roadmap that I drew. And each of the nodes on that roadmap is a course and a program in the academy. So when you enroll in the academy, you're having access to all of those things, and you will take the classes like a syllabus. Because when you're done, you are set for life. You can build multiple businesses with those skills. Like yesterday, one thing I taught every Wednesday I'm teaching, what I taught yesterday was about demand and supply. I know it's an economic term, but do you know how demand and supply in your industry is affecting your business growth? In your industry, in the market, because there's I explained this yesterday. Like, this is when I'm teaching, right? There's industry, there's the market, right? There's the community you're serving. Those three things behave differently when it comes to demand and supply. For example, the industry you're in America may behave differently than in Europe. You may be in an industry and you're trying to serve people in that industry. It may be in a growing, emerging, dying space. These are the things I thought. You can sign up and access it. But How you understand demand and supply. Certain communities, your services may not be in demand in that community, in that demographic. In another community, the same service will be seen as premium and people are investing. All of a sudden, you realize you are not the problem. You are not the problem. Your product is not the problem. Your service is not the problem. You are trying to impose an offer. That's why one of my rules is of sales and persuasion is never persuade people against their will. Always persuade them in the direction of what it is they're trying to achieve. So certain communities are not going where you're trying to take them. They're like, no, thank you. We don't want that. We're not going up the pyramid of success. We are satisfied here. Don't feed people that are not hungry. I know I just gave you a small dose of some of the things and business strategies that I teach at the Business and Leadership Academy. So that's it. It's a wrap. I'm heading over to connect with Pastor Cornelius on Instagram every Thursday. I share tips on the game plan 12 strategies for winning, which is the leadership and success mindset. Yes, I'm here. I do all I need to do. And I really appreciate everybody that's been here with me. And thank you so, so much. I'm going to quickly close this out now, the video, and then we'll host maybe 5 minutes of after show on Clubhouse. And then I'll see you again next week. Have a great weekend, people. Thank you for being here. And do send in your feedback. I really do need to hear that. Thank you.